Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe, and another Walking Dead Q&A video for this week. We're going to be going over some of your guys' comments and questions, of course, leading into the continuation of the Walking Dead universe. So, hope you guys have had a fantastic week. Obviously, we're back with another Walking Dead Q&A. Definitely want to keep these going every single week, and we've managed to do so up to this point. So, at least going to rock this out probably till the conclusion of the year, and then obviously, we'll probably start getting some information of upcoming Walking Dead projects as we get into the new year. But yeah, wanted to go over some of your guys' comments. Of course, it's been a few weeks since Daryl Dixon has ended, and we will have more discussion videos on some upcoming Walking Dead stuff. Like I said, there's a Walking Dead series that I'm planning on doing on the channel, so there's a lot of Walking Dead content that is still remaining, that is still going to happen on the channel as we continue. But let's get into this. So, starting things off with Eclipse, who says that, Dan, honestly, the promotion for the final season of Daryl Dixon kind of reminds me of the promotion of the final season of Telltale's Walking Dead, where they don't give us a teaser trailer or anything crazy like that, and they really make you sit there and wait for the footage to come out. What are your thoughts? Well, yeah, no, I agree, because we have not had any footage of the final season of Daryl Dixon, and I would presume at this point we're not going to get any. You know what I'm saying? We're probably not going to get anything until, you know, we eventually just get, you know, into the new year. And then we'll probably start getting minor teasers here and there. But yeah, no, we haven't had anything for Daryl Dixon yet for Season 4 in terms of footage, in terms of anything. I mean, there was like a behind-the-scenes video, but it wasn't like anything too major or anything like that, and it wasn't really all that telling. I would say that they're doing the smart thing, because honestly, there's probably a lot of spoilers in this final season that's probably going to be difficult for them to make teasers and trailers. Especially if they leave Spain within like a few episodes, you never know, maybe that's why they haven't shown the trailers, because it's too difficult for them to show what's going on. Hell, for all we know, there's some cameos in this season that we have no idea about, you know what I mean, and that's why they haven't been able to share anything. You never know. So that's why I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, there might be a bigger reason why we haven't seen anything, you know? And that makes sense, because it's a final season for one thing. You're going to want to make sure that your final season delivers, and sometimes final seasons are difficult to show footage in, you know what I mean? Honestly, I get it. I 100% get it. All I would say is I hope that it's worth the wait. I hope that it's worth, you know, obviously, you know, not getting any footage for now, and that it's a good final season, you know what I mean? Daryl Dixon is one of those shows that it was a rocky journey for me, because I really liked the first season. The second season was so-so. And then the third season was actually pretty solid. So, I'm hoping that Season 4 can kind of conclude it in a good way, because at least if Season 4 is good, I can sit there and say, okay, this is a good spinoff. You know what I mean? Like, full on, I can say at that point, yeah, this is a good spinoff. If Season 4 craps the bed, then it'll be a, you know, wishy-washy show. But if Season 4 is really great, then honestly, I could see myself saying, yeah, that's a good spinoff. I still don't know if I'm going to like it better than The Ones Who Live, just because The Ones Who Live just kind of got to the point a little bit more. But the Daryl spinoff, one thing I've heard from a lot of you guys, and I do 100% agree, it smokes Dead City. It's not even close. Like, honestly, Dead City is a whole other league to me in comparison to Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon is way more well told. It's way more well established. It just visually looks nicer, all that stuff. So honestly, there's no comparison for me between those two things. But I would say The Ones Who Live I still prefer over Daryl Dixon. I just find it's gotten to the point better. I feel like it kind of gave us some more bangers, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's done a bit of a better job overall as a spinoff. But again, that's just me. The next one comes from Steve, who says that, Dan, do you think we're going to see Primrose team as the main antagonist for Season 4 of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon? Man, so obviously the Primrose team, obviously what people are talking about there is the characters and the soldiers that we saw in the post-credit of The Walking Dead World Beyond that were in France, obviously, and all that, you know, stuff. Now, you know what's funny, and it's the part that's so weird to me about the filming for Dead City Season 3, is that we know that Dead City Season 3 is going to be going to France, right? We know that they're going to be doing that at some point. Or at least nearby Croatia, of course, because I know that Croatia is nearby with France, and obviously we've got some of those locations there. So either it's Croat going back home, and they're going to film in France because they don't want to film in Croatia. Maybe that could be the idea there. I still don't know why the hell Dead City is going overseas. I don't see the purpose of that, but they're going to do it anyway. So, unless unless it's for Croat, which that's fine if that's the case. But if Negan and Maggie are coming all the way over there, like that's just I'm gonna be like, okay, what the fuck, you know? But my thing is could we see Primrose team in Dead City? Could that be something they do where it's like, okay, Primrose team was set up in the World Beyond post-credit scene. We didn't get to it in the Daryl Dixon show, but maybe we're going to get to it in, Dead City. That would be really odd and really unexpected, but I suppose they could do it. You know what I mean? They could do it. Why do I feel like Primrose team is more likely to be a villain in season 3 of Dead City than season 4 of Daryl Dixon? Honestly, I could see it. Which is crazy to me that I'm even saying that. Again, there's got to be some kind of link up here. You know what I mean? There's got to be some kind of link up. The reason why Dead City's going to, France, and then Daryl Dixon's in Spain. There's got to be some reason to morph them together. My only question is the timeline, because Dead City is further in the timeline than Daryl Dixon. You know what I mean? Like, way further. Like, Daryl Dixon would have to skip, like, 5 or 6 years, I think, to line things up to where we're at. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's a complicated timeline. It's a complicated jumble, honestly, at the moment. And you know what I find funny? At San Diego Comic-Con, or not San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con this past year with Gimple. I remember he was asked by a fan. I remember watching the live stream, and the fan was just like, oh yeah, Gimple, so like where in the timeline does all this stuff take place? And like how far is the timeline of Dead City and Daryl Dixon compared to each other and this and that? And then I remember Gimple just sits there and he's like, there's timelines and there's answers, and you could just kind of make up your own answers there, I admittedly, you could just make up what timeline it is for you. I'm like, what? What, my guy? What? Like, just tell people you don't know what the fuck the timeline is, honestly. It's good to work out your timelines, Mr. Gimple. If you don't know where your show is timeline-wise, you're gonna plot hole yourself. You're going to plot hole yourself. So, honestly, it's not a good idea. I really don't think answering a question in that manner is a good idea either, because then it tells your fans that you have no fucking idea what you're doing, you know what I mean? You're just making shit up and making up timelines, and that's why I say, why the hell is Dead City further in the timeline than Daryl Dixon? Why wasn't Dead City just where Daryl Dixon's timeline is at? You know what I mean? I don't get that element of it either. There's got to be a plan. There's got to be a reason for it, but I'm starting to doubt there is, y'all. I feel like they just skipped a bunch of time in Dead City just to skip a bunch of time in Dead City, Like, I don't think there's any massive purpose to it or anything like that. So, who knows where everything's going to connect, but in terms of Primrose team, I think they're more likely to show up in Dead City at this point, which is shocking, honestly, to say so, but I do think that there's more of a likelihood at this point, which is insane, honestly. The next one comes from Steve, who says that, Dan, did you see Norman Reedus has fully gone bald? I've seen this all over Twitter, want to get your opinions. Yeah, we did do a video about that, I think about a week or so ago, where we saw the shaved sides of his head, right, with Norman Reedus. I haven't seen a public appearance of Norman Reedus since, so that's why I haven't covered the topic since then. If I see a public appearance of Norman Reedus and he's bald, yeah, at that point we're gonna definitely discuss that. But it sounds like he might be, from what y'all are telling me. So if y'all have any extra photo evidence that isn't just what we did in the video a few weeks ago, or like a week or so ago, then definitely send that my way, because if we have some, more information on that, if I see a bald Norman Reedus, then okay, shit. That makes a bit more sense to me now why they haven't also showed a preview for the final season, because, they're trying to keep shit a secret, you know what I mean, as much as they can. I have not seen a public appearance of Norman Reedus since the end of season 3 of Daryl Dixon. So, are they keeping him in hiding because of his, his appearance? I don't know, but yeah, no, that is true. I have not seen anything from him either. So, yeah. It's interesting times, man. I'll tell you that. It's very interesting. And then finally, the last one for today comes from Cody, who says, man, I want to see Negan and Maggie making babies already. Good lord. No. No. What, Megan? Like, no. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see that happen at all. I hope this new showrunner for Dead City does not allude to that idea either, because I know Eli Journe was kind of talking about the idea of how fun that would be to do that. No, definitely not. I hope they're just messing with us, admittedly. If Negan and Maggie fall in love, I'm stepping the fuck out. I'm stepping the fuck out. I am not watching that shit. I am not watching that at all. I'm not watching a Negan and Maggie sex scene. I'm not watching any of that bullshit. Screw that. You can count me the hell out. So, no, not happening. I know there's some folks that really want to see that. I can't personally get behind it, but again, that's just me. So, anyway, thank y'all for your comments, your questions, your interactions, all that stuff. Definitely stay tuned for next week. We'll do another one of these, and we'll continue the Walking Dead train while we wait for more of the universe content. It's fun to still do these Q&As with y'all because it kind of keeps the Walking Dead discussion alive. Because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't heard nothing about Walking Dead recently. It's crazy. So, honestly, that's why I do them, because I like to keep that discussion going, even if there's no massive Walking Dead news right now. I like to do them week to week just to kind of keep the ball rolling, you know what I mean? So, that's kind of the vibe there. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Post your comments down below, and if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe and tune in to any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very soon. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alley, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies need a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.